U.S. Armed Forces, and I know they did everything in their power to make it as absolutely perfect as they could, at least in terms of Major Davis.
I was pretty happy to finally, at some point, I don't know what season it was, but I showed up for work and they handed me a flight suit. I was like, oh, thank God. Because like first couple of seasons, if you remember that far back, I was actually wearing a cardigan. Like a combat cardigan on. It was like, I am so not prepared for an attack. It's like, quit! You know, we're under attack, get me my slippers and pipe! I had a tie and a cardigan, I hated it.
But it renders him almost invisible at the mall.
Totally. And then I got handed a flight suit, which I thought was pretty cool until I found out there's no pockets on it that you can actually put your hands in and just kind of lounge around. Their pockets are like they're down by your testicles. I'm like, what the hell is this for? Oh, that's for a pen. You know, but it's a flight suit, right? So the guys, like when they've thought about it, it's like the guy's flying. It's like, oh, I'll just reach down because it's there in a cockpit, right? But, you know, for me, walking around, it's like, oh yeah, let me just get my pen. Just clip this and get my pen. It was weird. Like there's zippers everywhere. It was like some S&M outfit that I just put on. 3-foot zipper, you know, bizarre. But also, speaking of Barry, I never forget this. Barry, like the way the zipper went, it had this like sort of long thing, and then had a little piece of fabric that sticks off the what do you call it? The tab of the zipper. Little piece of fabric, so you can just kind of grab it, right? And just, you know, when you're, you know, at the military bathroom, just peel the thing off. So the thing would constantly pop out. It would just stick up like this, and it was driving me nuts. And finally, I said to Barry one day, I go, Barry, why don't you just like cut this thing off? And Barry, are you kidding me? The Air Force will freak! He just like slammed me to the mat on that one. Like, Barry's, you know, like I'm supposed to be like full on Air Force, and I'm trying to modify my outfit. You just cut this off and tuck this up a little, and just, can I get cuffs? You know, whatever. Barry, there was no way.
Flight scarf.
You were like flight suit guy, right? Pretty much.
No.
No? Oh, the black ops outfit you had too. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're right. Barry was a stickler for making sure the uniforms were correct.
Right.
However, when you're running second unit or when you're running into an actor that doesn't care and is running away from Barry, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Then you know, sometimes the uniforms are you know, it's not like most actors know how the things are supposed to look. You know, I liked Mitchell's sleeves rolled, and I knew how they're supposed to look, but I couldn't do the military sleeve roll to save my life. If Barry wasn't there, you know, I was in trouble. Because I said, why is Mitchell's sleeves like this? This is how it would have looked. So, you know, we had people who looked out for it, and they did a good job.
And I was happy too, because I appear in SG Universe, and I've got a... I was very happy for that, and in a completely different outfit, like full-on camouflage. It's great. So I got a different outfit.
Sleeves are cut.
SGU. Plunging neckline.
Low-cut pants, nothing but pubes.
Just a light Italian.
Harriman.
Hairy man.
Hairy man.
Yeah. Next question.
My question is for Colin. Not that I don't love the other two of you, but my question is for Colin. First, did your luggage arrive this con?
It did.
Okay.
Done a bunch of concerts.
Who did Major Davis tick off so that he was never promoted in 10 years?
I honestly don't know. I honestly don't know.
I believe it was Brigadier General Producer.
And Gary's actually right about that. You know what's weird? Do you say, do you not say? I have a feeling that that there was one particular guy. When I was on the show, when I first started on the show for years, after each and every episode, I was always there with a card or a little scratch and win or a bottle of wine. There were like 7, 8, 9 guys to go through that I did a good job in getting around and saying thank you, thank you, thank you. But the 9th guy, or the 10th guy, that I never got the chance, all of a sudden there was a reshuffle. And number 10 became number 1. And all of a sudden I didn't work for a good little stint. So I've always had my curiosities about that. But other than that, hell, I don't know. I was, you know what, to even do more than 1 episode on that show, I never expected to be back. To think that I went, I don't know, 7 years or whatever it was, 8 years was a blessing. I mean, you know, for all of us, seriously, we're here in Atlanta now, getting to know you folks, so it's been really an awesome thing. Either that or the dogfighting ring I started off just off the set.
We traded him to Battlestar.
Next up.
Okay, I just have a general question. I know everybody, a lot of times people think it's, you know, great to be an actor, you get money and do different things all the time.
We're rolling.
You spit out water, I farted.
Anyway, my point is, I know acting's not perfect. So if you could say there's one thing that, man, as an actor, I really wish this wasn't a part of it, what would you say that is?
Really wasn't a part of it?
Yeah, like a part of it, you know, I like my job.
Oh,
I like
the
my job, but-
they're the aging hookers. Because I was a secondary character, so I got the really old hookers. That was brutal. That's why I was hoping to go through the gate, just in lieu of that.
That's actually a really good question. I'm trying to come up with something pithy. I'm just, wow. I don't know, just the days and nights of suicidal thinking. What wouldn't be a part of it? What would you, seriously, what would you, I think that's a great question. What would you?
I don't quite get the,
Well, you know what?
There's all this great stuff, but like what part sucks?
Right, basically that's it. You know, like, you go, oh, I hate the early mornings, I hate the 15-hour days.
No, because that's all related to work. That's fantastic. It's the bit where you're not working that sucks. That's the part that sucks of not working. You know, there's a million reasons. There's usually like one main reason why you get cast, and there's a million reasons why you don't. So, you know, it's.
I look back and it's weird because I shouldn't, but the things that I don't want to say regret because it's all part of the process.
Say it. Say regret.
When I think of when I was first starting out, and I'm sure it's not too far crazy a story for these two guys here, but the desperation of just, God, if I could just get an opportunity, and everything you do, you'd spend 1,000% on. If you had a resume, you'd go over and make sure that, I mean, the only control you had in your career was the font you chose. And I hate that kind of stuff, but that's all you've got. It's all you've got. So literally thinking that the only contribution I can make to my career at this point is which font I'm going to choose from my resume. So I hated that kind of stuff.
That's really good.
Yeah.
No, it is, because what it speaks to is the fact that I was having a conversation with Bo Bridges. This is Bo Bridges. And Bo was worried about his next job. I think, Bo was worried about his next job. And I think that most actors quite reasonably are worried about their next job. Now, that's not to say it's any different from what many people in America today are facing. Where is my next job? Where is my next paycheck? But it's a constant reality for actors. You do an unemployment stint of a year and a half, and you spend time beating yourself up over things completely beyond your control as to why you didn't get a job. It's the same thing Gary said about 1,000 reasons you don't get a job. You're too tall, you're too short, you're too skinny, you're too fat, you're too southern, you're too northern. Your eyes
Too
are
Gary.
blue. The 9th guy in line that came along didn't, and so you wonder, you spend a lot of time wondering, and it's a horrible thing to be wondering about yourself, because you are the product.
It's
you're
weird.
like a product.
It's
you know?
weird, like as Colin said, you put 1,000%